Hey guys, how we doing? So what we're doing today right now is just a little bit of a dish that, it's not much a dish, it's a dip that I learned from my grandmother. It's kind of been in the family for a minute, and then what we're going to incorporate is we're going to take some lump crab meat and some garlic butter, and we're going to saute that together, add green onions, sour cream, a little bit of mayonnaise, a little bit of cream cheese, and then we're just gonna literally put the crab meat with this green onion dip, and then we're gonna put it in the refrigerator for a couple hours to let those flavors marinate. So we've cut up our green onions, we're gonna add our sour cream, and this is a really simple dip that you don't have to add crab meat if you don't want to, but it lasts for such a good time. And if you wanna know what kind of chip to use, as there's a dip, corn chips taste the best with this green onion dip. So we've been lucky enough to have our cream cheese soften for a couple hours just sitting out. Your balance of cream cheese, the sour cream to mayonnaise is actually kind of important because you don't want one to overpower the other. You want a nice balance of flavor and texture at the same time. And the cream cheese does really good when it comes to texture of dips or sauces. We're just gonna do half of a basic pack of cream cheese. Mayonnaise, literally we're just gonna squeeze a little bit of mayonnaise into that, comme ça. Now what I need is a little bit of hot sauce. Sometimes we just gotta go back to the basics. Just a couple dashes. You know, you gotta taste this, we're gonna taste this. Tasting is all part of the process of cooking. I'm also going to add a little bit of Tony's, just because you want a little bit of a balance of your salt and your pepper and everything like that. The secret to this is actually going to be the butter, the garlic butter that we're using for our crab meat. And I'm not going to lie, Drago's restaurant makes an amazing garlic butter sauce. If you want to make your own, by all means, make your own. But this product, that what they've done with their restaurants, is absolutely amazing. And then pepper. Anybody know how this works? And that's how it works. Now this dish, it's funny because like we've all learned this from our grandmother or my dad's mom, and somehow recipes through the years become their own thing to each person about how they feel it should be done. I personally like to chop my green onions. I'm going to add some more green onions. This is one of those dishes where really it's all about the flavor of the green onion. And so you can add as much as you want. I'm just going to chop a little bit more and add it to it. But some people with this dish will actually just take everything, put it in a food processor, and just blend it up. Personally, I don't like that because I feel that the green onion water just like bleeds too much into the creaminess of the dish itself. Everybody each to your own, by all means. You can always add your own flavor and spin to it because that's what cooking's about. If you just always have the ability to stay creative and know that, you know, I can add my own twist and spin and practice and cultivate your own ideas when it comes to food. That's what food's about. I mean, if we stayed cooking like we did 100 years ago, how we would have evolved. I mean, now we have culinary students who want to learn craft and the ability to learn from those who came before them. And that's how you take on the next generation, by allowing them to have the ability to want to learn, and having those who have been there, done that, to teach them and say, hey, it's all great. One of the best things I ever learned in culinary school was this saying that the first 1,000 don't count. She's shaking her head right here, right? The first 1,000 don't count. And that's kind of like anything in life. The first 1,000 you do, it doesn't count. It's all part of the practice. So I'm gonna get a tasting spoon because I know how this should taste. And look, you know, as we know, all the flavors are going to marry into each other as they take time to sit. And I'm gonna add one thing extra to this dish that isn't in the original. I'm gonna add some lime juice to it. Crab meat and citrus, whether you're utilizing a lime or a lemon, just has really good flavor techniques to go along with it. I'm just gonna cut it right here. I'm gonna cut it right here because I don't want any seeds. I literally get all the lemon juice that I need right here and just squeezing it right into that. No mess, no seeds, just all really good juices. It's a good way of cutting your limes and lemons so you get more juice to utilize versus the seeds or having to worry about it if you don't have a seeder for your citrus. All right, so we're done right now. All I need to do is start sauteing the crab meat. Here we go. We have our Vermilion Bay Sweet lump crab meat, blue crab meat from the Gulf of Mexico. Local. We know exactly where this is coming from. There's no need to second guess this. This is amazing, beautiful local property. Thanks to
Louisiana Direct Seafood.
I can't say it better than you can. You know.
They keep my cholesterol fantastic.
Right, exactly.
And my belly happy.
So my pot is good and hot. Take my magical garlic butter. Yeah, that's probably the best looking lump crab meat I've ever seen in my entire life, because most of the time it comes in the plastic, you know, and it's gonna have a couple shells in it. And I saw how beautiful the color is. My gosh, y'all. Oh my gosh. There are certain things about food that I consider sexy, and I'm just gonna say it like that. There's lump crab meat is sexy, sexy. It's always been. Look how pretty that is, y'all. It's one thing I've learned. Try to use, because there's a lot of things we gotta wash while we're cooking, cleaning as we go and everything like that. If you can use the same spoon, use the same spoon. This sour cream is not gonna make any kind of difference with what we're sauteing right now. And it's okay to mix this, because literally it's gonna be going back into that green onion dip we have going on right now. So this crab meat's already been cooked and everything. So you're not really cooking the crab meat as opposed to merging that garlic butter into it, okay? So that's really the important part of what we're doing right now. We're literally just doing sauteed lump crab meat in garlic butter. This is one of the most finer points in life, is just this amazing flavor. It's coming together right now. Let that do its thing for a minute. I am gonna add a little bit of Tabasco. I'm gonna zhuzh it up, as they say. We are gonna have a little bit of the seasoning. Black pepper. Add a little Himalayan salt. Oh my gosh, y'all, it's starting to saute now. We're just gonna fold this butter and this crab meat into each other. Lump crab meat is one of those things that you really don't want to roughly move around when you're cooking it. You want to keep that lump together. What makes the magic of this lump is that literally stays beautiful bite to the whole process, the beginning, middle, and end of the cooking process. That still stays that nice, full flavored bite of this blue crab meat, coming from Delcambre Direct, coming from the Gulf of Mexico, coming from our backyards here in Vermilion Bay. So I'm not gonna mess with it too much more. I want the bubbling to start happening on the sides. We must make sure that we taste the whole process. Even something like this that's getting merged into another dish, you want to make sure that this has its own individual flavor. Like, it does not get any better than this. Garlic butter, lump crab meat, some seasoning. Y'all, I'm gonna add a little bit more butter because we can. So if y'all notice, when I cut the pack open and the lump crab meat came out, y'all saw some residual water that came from the lump crab meat. Okay, so what we're gonna do, because you know, adapt and overcome in your cooking. So we're gonna let this reduce and let that water steam out, so it's really as just much butter and crab meat as we can get. We're not losing any flavor or anything like that. That's just residual crab meat water from the amazing freshness of the protein. A little bit more lime juice, just like we incorporated into our dip. Y'all can see we have lost the water. It has steamed out, and we're just looking at sauteed butter and crab meat right now. I'm gonna let this sit like this on a high fire. Your fire can be hot. Nothing's gonna burn. It's just literally the crab meat is soaking in that butter flavor right now, which is exactly what I want. Now, you can do this on a saute pan. You could also do this on a hibachi grill. Throw your crab meat right onto the hibachi grill and then throw your garlic butter right on top of it. This is a dish I did and I won at a cooking contest against some amazing chefs. Just happened to win first place with this little simple dish. So we're doing our crab meat, we made our dip. Let me tell you what we're doing with the whole thing together. So we're gonna take this crab meat in the dip, put it in the refrigerator, comme ça, for a couple hours. Now, the next thing we're gonna do after that is all merged together. We're gonna take fresh baby shrimp. We're gonna mix up olive oil, blackening seasoning, and brown sugar. Then we're gonna saute that up just to the point before it's just done and let the cooking process, the steam and the heat, finish it off. One thing about shrimp, especially baby shrimp, it's one of those things you don't want to make too rubbery. So you got to think about that next level. All food will cook 10 degrees higher after you stop cooking it. These are good things to note, like when doing steaks or whatever. You want medium rare, go for rare, let it sit for 10 minutes, it'll be perfect medium rare. Alrighty, so come back over here. We can see that the water is literally just residual itself out. The bubble is coming from the butter and everything like that. I can turn this off right now, come back. I'm gonna do a final tasting on this to check for what I'm looking for: salt, pepper, lime juice, green onions. It's got the sour cream. I'm gonna add a little bit more mayonnaise to it, just because I'm looking for a little bit of that hint of mayonnaise in this dip. Now, I'll tell you this. Yes, it's a green onion dip. But you know what? Look at the beautiful things we have in front of you. You could literally chop up a fresh jalapeno, add a fresh jalapeno to this. You could chop up some Roma tomatoes, add some Roma tomatoes to this. This is just a baseline of anything you could want to turn into just a really good dip utilizing the fresh green onion flavor. That's why I came up with utilizing crab meat with this. Chef, come over here. Come on, taste a little bit of this. Right? Right?
Absolutely.
Right? Literally adding all of this just like this. You may say to yourself, is that a little bit too much lump crab meat? There's never too much lump crab meat, ever, ever. That is not ever said. Because even after utilizing the dish we're gonna do with this, if we have extra, this could be utilized for like anything, honestly. You could throw that on top of a steak or some bread, right? As being some toast points, right? Again, folding in the crab meat, trying not to have it all broken apart, yet at the same time want to incorporate this butter into my sour cream, cream cheese mix. You tasted this right now, because now it's starting to warm up. I can feel in the bowl the temperature has changed. Your sour cream is starting to get a little more runnier. Your cream cheese is getting softer. This could honestly, if you wanted to like do an au gratin, this could be a great crab meat au gratin recipe just like this. Throw in some cheese, some Parmesan, some Reggiano. Again, tasting again. Just want to see where we're at. All right, chef, try this now. Right?
Ooh.
Right? and then we're gonna refrigerate that, you know what I'm saying? So all those flavors are gonna get really sucked in. So I'm also checking this too. It's not too hot. You wanna make sure that your bowl that you mixed in your crab meat, it's not too hot because again, we don't wanna be in danger zone of temperatures that could possibly mess up the quality of this. And Chef, what is our danger zone temperatures?
42 to 135.
Say it again.
42 to 135.
That's right. That's your danger zone temperatures right there, y'all. And if you happen to have because I know with COVID and everything, a lot of people bought those digital thermometers. If you happen to have one, they work well for that. So we can do that. I put a little hole slit just in case the moisture needs to come out. And we're gonna pop this in the refrigerator. And we'll see y'all back in just a little bit.
You got my attention, baby. I can't make a move. Like a child, a star for love. I stay there.